Welcome to The Explainer. We're jumping right into Chapter 7 of the Class 3 Khel Yoga curriculum today. And let me tell you, it's fascinating. It's essentially a masterclass in how to take complex educational standards and ancient yogic practices and disguise them entirely as pure, unadulterated childhood fun.
Put yourself in the shoes of an 8-year-old for a second. Your school day kicks off with this really imagination-sparking question. Have you observed animals, birds, trees, and mountains? It is fun to mimic them. Right out of the gate, there's no heavy terminology. No one is talking down to you. It's just an open invitation to play.
And that sense of play bridges the gap directly into physical movement. Instead of telling a child to get into a downward-facing dog to stretch out their hamstrings, it just says, hey, pretend to be a mountain. Stretch your back out with your hands and legs down. It's visual, it's immediate, and it makes total intuitive sense to a kid.
So, here's our roadmap. First, the yogic journey begins. Second, playful poses and preparations. Third, structuring the school year. And finally, assessing student progress.
All right, part 1. The yogic journey begins.
Now, before anyone even breaks a sweat, the curriculum explicitly roots these physical asana practices in Yama and Niyama. These are essentially the foundational steps of the yogic journey. And why start here? Because it makes sure that kindness, self-reflection, and good habits are being built right alongside strong bodies. Khel Yoga isn't just about stretching, it is quite literally about shaping a child's character.
Moving right along to part 2, playful poses and preparations.
This is where we see those ancient practices morphed into high-energy, dynamic activities. The preparatory practices start out super simple. Kids are tasked to walk on their heels to build body awareness and then immediately told to jump around like frogs to get energized. It is a brilliant little sequence. You start with something requiring focus and balance and then release all that tension with high-energy frog jumping. It totally captures a child's natural rhythm. It's traditional stretching, but completely gamified. Instead of doing boring, repetitive exercises, students are standing tall and strong like a tree, or sitting down and flapping their legs just like butterfly wings. And the text constantly checks in, asking, did you enjoy these poses? Which one did you like the most? It keeps the child centered as an active owner of their physical education, not just someone following directions.
Okay, part 3, structuring the school year.
Let's peek behind the teacher's desk for a minute. The number 150 is huge here. The NCFSE 2023 guidelines actually recommend a massive 150 periods for physical education for the year. We are talking a minimum of 90 hours. That's a profound mandate because it proves these activities aren't just an afterthought or a quick recess break. It's a core curricular area treated with the exact same weight as math or language.
So, how do you manage 150 periods? Teachers are handed highly specific scenarios and scheduling strategies. They need to plan a minimum of 5 40-minute periods every single week. They use block periods, meaning 2 back-to-back, to make sure there's uninterrupted, continuous play. Plus, there is this heavy emphasis on parallel planning to balance motor skills, team games, and yoga. Teachers can even pick distinct scenarios so they can prioritize intense game practice one day and then pivot to circle time for socio-emotional reflection the next.
When you look at a snapshot of the annual session plan, the flow is just fascinating. You've got a quiet, intensely focused session of eye exercises right next to active motor skills like kicking a shadow ball or playing a traditional team game like Ankh Macholi in a double block period. It is completely intentional. You are constantly fluctuating the physical and mental demands day by day to keep the kids totally engaged.
Which brings us to part 4, assessing student progress.
You might be wondering how on earth you grade a kid pretending to be a frog over 150 periods. While the assessment goes way beyond just physical milestones, the rubrics track behavioral growth tied right back to those Yama and Niyama principles we mentioned. Teachers are observing if a student goes from needing constant reminders to care for their personal belongings to independently taking initiative, managing their schoolwork, and setting a good example. It's a beautifully holistic view of the child.
And on the physical side, the expectations clearly escalate over time. The rubric requires teachers to verify that a child can progress from just a simple 3-minute walk without discomfort, stepping up gradually until they can continuously jog for 3 minutes with proper posture and smooth arm movements. To the kid, it just feels like running around, but behind the scenes, it is incredibly systematic.
But here's my absolute favorite part of the entire framework. In a 5-point rubric for walking and running, the highest level, a perfect level 5, isn't about speed or distance. The top metric for success literally just says, I enjoy while running and walking. The ultimate goal is simply verifying if the child actually found pure, authentic joy in the movement itself. How great is that?
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. How might our society change if every single child was taught, right from an early age, that structured physical play, joyful movement, and mindful self-reflection are equal, non-negotiable pillars of their education? Implementing a rigorously structured yet beautifully playful curriculum like this doesn't just make school fun, it literally has the profound potential to shape the healthy, well-adjusted adults of tomorrow. Definitely something to think about. Keep exploring.